Thanks, everyone. I'm Anna Mazzone with Trunomi. If anything interests you here today, you can always get a hold of me at anna@trunomi.com. Yes, I was a banker. That's where I started my career in California with Bank of America. That was my first introduction to KYC, as probably many of you know that acronym these days, over 20 years ago. And in the past 6 years, I've been very involved in international KYC. So all companies have an obligation to make sure that the people they're doing business with are not doing tax fraud and ensuring that they are mitigating any money laundering and terrorist financing risk. But really, for banks, KYC comes down to knowing the customer better. And I actually think there's a positive side to this. As we're moving into this digital world, I think that banks and other companies as well have to understand, have to understand how the customer wants to do business from a digital relationship, and they have to be able to authenticate those clients and understand that Anna is the actual individual at the other end of the wire. Trunomi, what we do is we've designed a solution to help companies comply with KYC regulations, but also the new European data privacy regulations and laws that are going into effect in the next couple years. So we help end customers share and monetize their data with banks, insurance companies, retail providers, healthcare providers, in order that they can get in return a commercial reward. So our service platform, what is it? Well, first of all, we're not a utility. We don't hold any personal identity information about the client. Okay, we believe that the customer should actually hold all of their data and authorize permission their counterparties to access this information. At the center of our solution right here is the customer data store, which is the customer interface that we've built that's web-based as well as mobile, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. And that's a white-labeled solution. And from there, the client is able to access their personal data and share it with, for example, the bank here. So the bank interface there holds all of the client reference data, the golden copy, and it actually shows their permissioning capability around the use of that information, which is going to be very important with the European data privacy regs, as well as for banks that want to be able to do digital marketing. Our API platform at the top there authenticates, validates, and verifies that I am who I say I am at the other end of the wire. And then finally, the compliance output, we produce a consent certificate that provides an immutable audit proof that I actually have the consent to use the information. Okay, so let's take a look at the application. So as I mentioned, it's white labeled. The main screen that you're looking at here, I've got a couple of data stores that I've created with a few banks. And from here, I can also manage, if I wanted to, I could create a data store for my insurance company, for maybe my favorite retailers, etc. I can also accept and reject new relationships. And in this particular case, I've just opened a new current account with this particular bank. The next thing is I've created a profile of who I am, and I actually have a timeline that actually shows the interaction of my data and documents with my bank. In the True Vault here, in the vault, I can actually see the data that I'm actually maintaining here and that I would typically share. And then I can also see what has been shared. In this case, I've shared utility bills and national ID cards. Or I might see things that I have there that I haven't shared. So I've got source of wealth and my passport data. And then finally, I've got my passport there, and the date's running out, and I need to start to update that. And then I have a whole panel here that I can manage the sharing of my information with various counterparties. And over here on the far right, you can see that with this particular bank, I've actually got my sharing bridge turned on. And because I had previously shared my national ID card, every time that card is updated, then that data is automatically pushed to that particular counterparty. So finally, we actually produce an audit and privacy certificate for every interaction between the counterparties. That provides the audit proof that the bank needs to ensure that they have the permission to use the information. So we provide a white labeled personal data store and authentication certificate. So thank you.